So, you've got this amazing tool, Dynamics 365, this CRM powerhouse, but it's
hmm
like it almost gets you where you want to be, right? And
Yeah,
our listeners have really been digging into making it their own,
absolutely.
sending us all sorts of interesting angles on this, and that's what we're diving deep into today. Dynamics 365 plugin development.
hmm
And this is really how you can unlock that next level of CRM customization.
It is that next level. And
Mm.
Dynamics 365 itself is such a powerful platform to begin with. It's
Exactly. Yeah.
all-inclusive Microsoft Business Application Suite. You can really think about it as the central hub
Yeah.
for managing those customer relationships and then all of your enterprise operations.
Right. It streamlines everything.
Trying to streamline how you do business, and some of the stuff he sent over is kind of cheeky about it, but
Yeah.
it's really aiming to help you dominate your field.
Take over the world.
Why not?
With your CRM.
Exactly. And this is where things get even more interesting.
Yes.
Dynamics 365 plugin development.
Now, this might sound a little bit in the weeds, a little bit under the hood,
Yeah,
but it's really the secret weapon to tailor your CRM.
it is.
We're talking about custom business logic.
Okay.
You're teaching your Dynamics 365 to perform in ways that you hadn't even thought possible before. And that's really designed for your own unique challenges, whatever they may be.
And I think what's so fascinating here is how it gives you a level of control beyond just your standard settings or configurations.
Absolutely.
Right? It's not about fitting your processes around the CRM.
Yeah, right.
It's really about molding the CRM to perfectly match your workflows.
It does exactly what you want it to do.
And that's really the power.
Exactly.
And in this deep dive, we'll explore exactly when and why plugins become indispensable.
Yeah.
We'll demystify all that essential terminology, walk through that development journey so you can start to envision yourself doing it,
Right.
and then highlight the crucial best practices.
Right, so you don't make any mistakes.
Exactly, because we all make mistakes.
We do.
This is about minimizing them.
Yeah. This is like a shortcut to being well-informed
Very much so.
about this very powerful customization approach.
I like that shortcut.
Okay, so let's unpack this idea of a secret weapon.
Okay.
When we talk about a plugin in Dynamics 365, what are we actually talking about practically?
So in the most practical terms, a plugin is custom code
Okay.
that's lying in your wait inside your CRM, ready to jump into action the moment that a specific event occurs.
Like it's waiting.
It is.
Right,
It's
completely.
waiting for that trigger,
Yeah.
and then it goes.
Yeah.
And it's that secret weapon that allows you to tackle very specific business needs and extend the standard functionality in ways that out of the box just doesn't allow.
Right.
So it's really about sculpting bespoke business logic to supercharge your CRM system.
Okay, now here's the million-dollar question that I think a lot of people listening are wondering.
Yeah.
When do you reach for this?
Okay?
When does a plugin go from being like, oh, that would be nice, to I need this?
Yeah, that's a critical point,
All
I
right.
think. The reality is, even the most comprehensive, out-of-the-box CRM solution
Right.
won't perfectly align with every single nuance of your business processes.
They're not mind readers, these companies.
They're not mind readers.
Yeah.
So plugins allow you to inject code into specific events within the CRM.
I love this idea of code injection.
It is a very apt term.
Yeah.
But we're not doing anything malicious. It's all within the system.
Right.
It gives you that ultimate fine-grained control.
Yes.
The power to truly tailor the system to your precise requirements.
Okay, so can you give us some concrete examples
Sure.
of when this code injection, when these plugins can really make a difference?
Absolutely. So plugins excel at automating those repetitive tasks, right? Those manual data entry chores, routine follow-ups, things that just drain your valuable time.
The boring stuff.
The boring stuff that nobody wants to do.
Right.
They're also incredibly effective at supercharging data processing.
Okay.
So performing complex calculations or validations automatically behind the scenes.
Like magic.
Magic.
Yeah.
And crucially, they act as bridges, enabling your Dynamics 365 to seamlessly communicate and integrate with other essential systems that your organization relies on.
It's like the glue.
It's the glue
Yeah.
that holds everything together.
Yeah.
So they truly fill the gap between the CRM's inherent capabilities and your organization's distinct operational demands.
It's making the CRM work for you, not the other way around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had a client once who was manually processing hundreds of invoices every single day,
Oh my gosh.
and we developed a simple plugin that automated this entirely. It
Wow.
saved them countless hours and reduced errors significantly.
That's the dream.
That's the kind of power we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the idea of what a plugin is, what it can do.
Yeah.
But before we get into actually building them, I
Great.
think we need to all be speaking the same language here.
Yeah, agreed.
So let's go through some of the terminology, some of the key terms, the essential terms.
Let's do it.
These are the building blocks.
They are the building blocks.
Okay, so let's start with just Dynamics 365 itself.
Okay.
As a term, how's it defined in our source material?
So Dynamics 365, as we've touched on, is that all-inclusive Microsoft Business Application Suite
Yeah.
designed to streamline your business operations and help you achieve those industry goals, whatever they may be.
Okay, cool. So the next term is plugin.
Plugin.
We've been talking about it, but let's get a good, solid definition.
In Dynamics 365, a plugin is custom code that jumps into action when specific events or actions occur within the CRM system.
Okay.
And this code is designed to meet your specific business needs and extend those standard functionalities.
Yeah.
We call it sneaking code in. But in reality, it's a very controlled process of registering and deploying compiled code within that Dynamics 365 platform.
It's not like we're hacking the system.
Or not.
No, it's all above board.
It's all above board within that secure architecture.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then there's the term business logic.
Business logic.
That sounds a little bit formal.
It sounds very formal, but it's really quite straightforward.
Okay.
Business logic refers to the specific rules, calculations, and processes that dictate how a CRM system should behave based on your organization's unique requirements.
So it's the brains of the operation.
It's the brains.
Yeah.
It's the intelligence behind it.
Yeah.
And plugins are often that mechanism for implementing this custom business logic.
Right.
So it's making the CRM system much more bespoke to your operations.
Okay, and what about this term entity class object?
Entity class object.
That one sounds a little bit technical.
It does sound a little technical, but you can really think of an entity class object as this programmatic representation
Okay.
of a specific type of data or record within your CRM,
Okay.
like we talked about with contact or account.
Yeah.
These aren't just tables in a database.
Right.
They're fundamental building blocks
Yeah.
that your plugin code directly interacts with.
So the plugin's talking to that?
The plugin's talking to that.
Yeah.
So the CRM SDK provides specific classes and methods to access, modify, and relate these entity objects within your custom logic. And it's really forming that system's backbone for organization.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So CRM system, I think we all have a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
But how is that defined specifically in our source material?
So a CRM system essentially is a software platform designed to help you manage all interactions with customers, clients, and potential customers.
It's all about relationships.
It is all about relationship.
Okay.
And it includes features for sales marketing and customer service.
No.
So it's really helping you to stay organized and foster those positive customer relationships.
Okay. And customization, that one's pretty self-explanatory.
I think customization is fairly self-explanatory.
Yeah.
It's about tailoring the CRM system to align with the organization's specific needs and workflows,
It's making it your own.
making it your own.
Yeah.
And that can involve adjusting existing features, adding new capabilities, or even modifying the user interface.
Right. So it looks how you want it to look.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Event trigger.
Event trigger.
Sounds like the starting gun at a race.
It does. But
What is it in this context?
it is like the bat signal of the business world.
I love it.
So an event trigger is a specific action or occurrence within the CRM system that signals the need for a plugin to activate.
So it's looking for that specific thing to happen.
It's looking for that specific thing.
Yeah.
And this could be anything from creating a new record, updating an existing one, or a change in status of something.
It's the green light.
It's a green light.
Yeah.
It sets your custom code in motion.
Okay. And code injection.
Code injection.
Still sounds
A little bit
nefarious.
clandestine.
The source actually uses the word clandestine.
It does.
But code injection in this context really just refers to the process of integrating custom code in the form of a plugin into that CRM system,
So it's extending what it can do.
extending its native capabilities.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And then CRM platform.
CRM platform.
What's the difference between that and CRM system?
So you can think of the CRM platform as that foundational backbone or framework
Okay.
upon which that entire CRM system is built.
Okay.
So Dynamics 365 itself
Yeah.
is a prime example of a really robust and reliable CRM platform,
Okay.
providing that underlying infrastructure for all of its features and customization.
Cool. And then finally, scalability. Why is this an important term to wrap our heads around?
Scalability is crucial. Because it describes the CRM system's ability to handle increasing volumes of data users or transactions
Okay.
without any noticeable dip in performance.
So it can grow with you
It can grow with you.
as your business grows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine your business experiences just this huge surge in new leads.
Right. Everyone's buying your product.
Everyone's buying your product.
Yeah.
A scalable plugin designed to automatically process those leads
Right.
won't buckle under pressure. It'll efficiently handle that increased volume.
It's not going to slow everything down. It's
Yeah.
not going to slow down the CRM for everyone else.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we've got the vocabulary down.
We do.
We can all talk about this stuff.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the actual journey of creating one of these plugins.
Okay.
What does that development process actually look like?
So the Dynamics 365 plugin development process is really about creating a meticulously crafted piece of software that seamlessly integrates with your CRM system.
It's like a work of art.
It's a work of art
Yeah.
to address those unique organizational needs that we keep talking about.
Okay, so what are the stages? What are the key stages involved in this?
So at a high level, the process encompasses several really essential stages.
Okay.
And it starts with setting up your development environment,
Okay.
making sure you have all the necessary tools and configurations in place.
You got to have the right tools for the job.
You got to have the right tools.
Yeah.
Then comes the actual coding phase.
Right.
You're going to write the logic for your plugin.
This is where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
And following that, you need to register your plugin within your specific Dynamics 365 environment.
Okay.
And then the final step is deployment,
Yeah.
making that custom functionality accessible to your users.
It's going live.
It's going live.
Okay.
That's always an exciting time.
Yeah, before we dive into setting up that development environment,
Yeah.
our source material really emphasizes the importance of strong name key files.
Yes.
What are these and why are they so important?
Think of strong name key files like digital signatures that vouch for the authenticity and integrity of your plugins.
Okay.
And they play this really vital role in establishing security and trust.
Okay.
These files assure both users and administrators that your customizations are reliable and that they haven't been tampered with.
So it's like a seal of approval.
It's like a seal of approval
Yeah.
for your plugins.
Okay, that makes sense, like a digital certificate of authenticity.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get practical now.
Yeah.
How do we set up that development workspace?
Setting up your development environment is absolutely essential.
Okay.
It's the foundation for creating those powerful customizations that we know are going to enhance your CRM system.
Yeah, so the first step in this journey is installing Visual Studio.
Yes.
Why is that the go-to tool here?
Visual Studio really is your ultimate coding playground.
I like it.
It's a comprehensive integrated development environment, or IDE, where you'll spend the majority of your time developing your Dynamics 365 plugins.
Oh, okay.
But simply installing Visual Studio isn't the whole story.
Right.
You also need to equip it with specific components that are tailored for Dynamics 365 development.
Ah, so you're adding on to Visual Studio.
Adding on, making sure you've got the right tools in the toolbox.
Right.
And these components enable Visual Studio to seamlessly communicate with your CRM system.
So it's like the right adapter to plug in.
It's like the right adapter, the right plug
Yeah.
to make sure everything is speaking the same language.
Okay, so what comes after Visual Studio?
Once you've got that development environment configured, the next crucial step is creating a new project in Visual Studio.
Okay.
And consider this project your digital canvas.
It's where it all comes together.
It's where it all comes together,
Yeah.
that dedicated space where you'll bring your custom CRM plugin to life.
Oh.
It's where you'll organize your code, manage all the necessary components for your plugin.
Now, there might be other little bits of code, other libraries that your project might rely on.
Yeah.
How do we manage all that stuff?
So that's where NuGet packages come in.
You get packages, okay.
Managing dependencies is a critical aspect of any software development.
Okay.
Dynamics 365 plugin development is no different.
Right.
NuGet is essentially a package manager for .NET development,
Okay.
and it makes it incredibly easy to find and incorporate external libraries and components that your plugin might require.
So it just brings in that extra stuff.
It brings in the extra stuff.
Fair.
So for example, if you need the functionalities provided by the CRM SDK
Right.
or other specific resources, NuGet streamlines the process of finding and integrating them directly into your project.
So you don't have to go hunting all over the internet for it.
Exactly. It does the hunting for you.
Okay, now you've mentioned the CRM SDK a few times.
CRM SDK, crucial.
What is it and why is it so vital for this?
The CRM SDK, or Software Development Kit, is really your trusty sidekick in this whole endeavor.
Okay.
Think of it as your comprehensive toolkit,
Okay.
providing you with the necessary knowledge libraries and tools to interact with Dynamics 365 programmatically.
It's the key.
It is the key.
Yeah.
Mastering the CRM SDK is a significant milestone because it really unlocks that door to efficient plugin development.
Okay, so we've got our development environment set up. We
Yeah.
understand the project structure. We've
Yeah.
got our CRM SDK by our side ready to help us.
Ready to go.
What's next in building this plugin?
So the next essential step is creating a new project in Visual Studio, specifically for your plugin.
Okay.
And the source calls this your first mission, your playground,
Love it.
for your custom CRM logic.
So this is where we really start to build the thing.
We're starting to get our hands dirty.
Yeah.
And there's a specific type of structure within this project that's really important.
Okay.
It's called a class library project.
Okay. A class library project.
Yes, and understanding that nature of a class library project is key.
Okay.
You can think of it as the backbone of your plugin.
Okay.
This particular project type is specifically designed for creating reusable components.
Okay.
In our case, the custom code that will become your plugin that can seamlessly integrate with that Dynamics 365 environment.
So it's the structure that allows it to talk to the CRM.
It's the structure that lets it talk
Yeah.
smoothly and effectively.
Okay, so we've got that structure.
Yeah.
We're starting to build out our plugin.
Yes.
Now, when that CRM actually triggers our plugin, where does our code actually execute? Where does it actually run?
That all happens within the execute method.
The execute
The
method.
source calls it the heart and soul of your plugin. And it really is, because this is the specific method where you'll inject that custom logic.
It's where the sausage is made.
This is where the sausage is made.
Yeah.
To bring your plugin to life in response to all those CRM events that we talked about.
So whether it's automating tasks, processing data, triggering other actions, this is where it's all happening.
It's all happening within the execute method.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we've written our beautiful code.
Yes.
It's in the execute method. It's ready to go.
It's ready.
How does Dynamics 365 know that this plugin exists?
That's where the plugin registration tool comes into play.
Okay, the plugin registration tool.
Yes.
What's that all about?
You need to register a new assembly using this tool.
Yeah.
And an assembly is essentially the compiled version of your plugin project.
Okay.
So think of it as formally introducing your plugin to that CRM environment and making it aware of its existence.
It's like saying, hey, this is here.
Hey, this is here. This
Right.
is what I can do.
Yeah.
And this step is crucial for transforming your custom code into an active component of your CRM system.
So it's not just sitting there dormant. It's actually part of the system now.
Exactly.
Okay, so we register the assembly. Is there another step where we actually tell Dynamics 365 when our plugin should run?
Yes, absolutely. So after you've registered the assembly,
Okay.
the next step is registering the plugin itself within Dynamics 365.
Okay, so we register the assembly and then we register the plugin.
Two-step process. And this involves configuring your plugin to understand which specific events within the CRM should trigger its execution,
Okay.
what actions it should perform in response.
Right.
You'll define the necessary settings and configurations within Dynamics 365.
So this is like saying, hey, when this happens, run this code.
You're telling it, hey, when this specific event occurs, I want this plugin to activate.
Okay, cool. So our plugin's registered.
It's registered,
It's ready to go.
ready to go.
What information does it have access to when it actually runs?
That brings us to understanding the execution context.
The execution context.
Okay. And the source describes it very well as the environment where your code does its thing.
Okay.
And having that solid grasp of the execution context is absolutely key to creating effective and targeted plugins.
Okay, so what are some of the key aspects of this environment that we need to be aware of as developers?
There are several important elements.
Okay.
One is utilizing the input parameters.
Okay. Input parameters.
And these parameters contain vital information about the specific event that triggered your plugin's execution.
Okay.
So this can include details like the source of the event.
Right. Where did it come from?
Where did it come from?
Yeah.
Specific data about the record or the entity involved.
Okay.
And accessing these input parameters provides you with the ability to really precisely tailor your plugin's actions.
So based on what happened, the plugin can behave differently.
Exactly. It's that intelligence that we were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another aspect is working with the target entity's object.
Yes.
Why is that important?
So that target entity is often the central focus when your plugin runs.
Okay.
It's the primary record that that triggering event is related to.
So this is the thing that the plugin's working on.
This is the thing it's working on.
Okay.
And understanding how to interact with this target entity
Yeah,
whether you're creating, updating, or retrieving data,
right.
is crucial for shaping that CRM system to meet your organization's needs.
Okay.
It's really that central point of interaction for many plugin operations.
Okay, and our source material also mentions handling web service calls using the organization's service reference.
Yes.
Now, why would a plugin need to be talking to the outside world?
So plugins often need to interact with external web services to access or exchange data with other systems that your organization uses.
Okay, so maybe it's talking to your accounting software or something.
Your accounting software, your inventory management, any other system that needs to talk to that CRM data.
Right.
And the organization service reference provides the necessary tools and methods to handle these web service calls seamlessly from within your plugin.
So it's giving it the ability to talk to those outside systems.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this opens up a whole world of possibilities
Yeah.
for extending your CRM's functionality by integrating it with all those other applications and data sources.
It's like it's breaking free of the CRM
It's breaking free in a very controlled manner,
in a good way.
in a good way.
Okay. And finally, let's say things aren't working the way we want them to,
Yeah,
which they often don't in development.
right. We all know that.
How do we figure out what's going on inside that plugin?
So that's where the tracing service is invaluable.
Okay, the tracing service.
Think of it as providing that window into your plugin's internal operations.
So you can see what it's doing.
You can see what it's thinking,
Yeah.
what it's doing step by step.
Okay.
And by implementing tracing, you can log messages information about what your plugin is doing as it executes.
Okay.
And this makes it so much easier to identify and resolve bugs or issues.
So you can actually find those errors.
Find the errors, fix them, and make sure that your plugins are running smoothly and reliably.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here in the basics of plugin development.
We have.
Now let's get into some more advanced concepts.
All right, let's do it.
For those people who really want to push the limits of Dynamics 365 customization.
These advanced topics are where you truly unlock the full potential of Dynamics 365 customization.
So the first one is exploring the event execution pipeline and stages.
Okay.
What is that all about?
The event execution pipeline in Dynamics 365 is like this well-defined sequence of steps
Okay.
that occurs when an event within the CRM triggers the execution of your plugin.
Okay.
So understanding this pipeline and its various stages,
Okay.
pre-validation, pre-operation, main operation, and post-operation.
So there's 4 stages.
4 key stages.
Okay.
And this is crucial because it dictates the precise order in which plugins are executed.
So you need to know what happens when.
You need to know what happens when, so this allows you to fine-tune exactly when and how your custom logic comes into play,
Okay.
ensuring the seamless integration with the CRM's core processes.
So the timing of it all is really important.
The timing is crucial.
Okay.
Uh,
Another topic is handling multiple environments and solutions.
Yes.
Why is that an important consideration?
So as your CRM solution matures, you'll likely have multiple environments.
Okay.
You might have a development environment for building and testing.
Right.
You might have a staging or UAT environment for final validation,
Okay.
and then your live production environment.
Right.
So handling multiple environments and solutions effectively is essential for maintaining consistency and managing those customizations across all these different instances.
So it's not just about one CRM, it's about all the CRMs that you might be using.
All the CRMs.
Okay.
And it involves using solutions to package and deploy those plugins and configurations, ensuring that your changes are properly managed, and don't introduce any unintended conflicts or issues.
It's keeping everything organized.
Keeping it organized, keeping it clean.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The source also mentions utilizing context menu and context objects input parameters collection.
Okay, so the context menu and the context objects input parameters collection are really powerful tools for enhancing those user interactions and automating more intricate tasks directly within the CRM interface.
Okay.
So for example, by customizing that context menu, you can add specific actions that users can trigger with a right click on a record,
Okay, so it's giving the users more options.
giving them more options.
Yeah.
And then by understanding those input parameters collection within that context,
Right.
you can pass specific data and information to your plugins when these custom actions are invoked,
Okay.
enabling more tailored and automated workflows.
So it's really giving a lot of power to the user.
Absolutely. It's putting the
Yeah.
power in the user's hands
Yeah.
to initiate those actions.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about creating custom actions in CRM?
Custom actions.
How are those different from the plugins we've been talking about?
So while plugins are event-driven,
Okay.
triggered by those specific occurrences within the CRM,
Right.
Custom actions are processes that you explicitly define and implement within CRM
Okay.
to represent specific business operations or workflows.
So it's a series of things that happen.
It's a series of steps.
Yeah.
And you can invoke these custom actions from various places,
Okay.
from workflows, plugins, or even external applications.
Okay.
So they really provide that higher level of orchestration for complex, multi-step processes
Okay.
and allow you to encapsulate reusable business logic in a more structured and accessible way compared to relying solely on those event-driven plugins.
So it's like a higher level function.
It's a higher level abstraction.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes things more organized and manageable.
And then finally, in this advanced section, understanding isolation mode and its implications.
Yes, isolation mode.
What is isolation mode?
Isolation mode refers to how plugins are executed within that Dynamics 365 infrastructure.
Okay.
And when a plugin runs in isolated mode, it operates in a secure, sandboxed environment,
Okay.
separate from that main CRM server process.
So it's like it's in its own little world.
Its own little world.
Yeah.
And this is a really critical security and stability feature
Okay.
because it prevents a poorly written or malfunctioning plugin from potentially crashing that entire CRM system.
So it's like a safety net.
The safety net.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, so we've covered so much here in the process itself.
Yeah.
The development process.
They've been through a lot.
Now let's talk about best practices.
And best practices.
How to be a pro at this.
This section is really for anyone aspiring to be a true pro in Dynamics 365 plugin development.
Okay.
Adhering to these best practices not only leads to higher quality, more efficient code,